the real McCoys, running the full court.
Yeah.
We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the AFC North.
Smash mouth,
We in
baby.
it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport.
Love, man.
We the real McCoys, running the full court.
Yeah.
We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the AFC North.
Smash mouth,
We in
baby.
it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport.
Love, man.
We the real McCoys, running the full court.
Yeah.
We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the AFC North.
Smash mouth.
Good evening. What's up? What's good? Welcome to All About Sports 216 The Show here on this Thursday evening. I am your host, Keith Allen, on this wonderful Thursday evening. What's going on with everybody? Minnesota. What's going on with everybody this evening? Hope we are all not down and out after the Cleveland Guardians season has now come to a conclusion. The Guardians, season came to an end against the Detroit Tigers, getting eliminated in the series 2-1. I'm up here doing some things real quick and everything. Excuse me and everything. But first, before I get to the Guardians, let me hit y'all up and let y'all know. First, the chat lines are open. Feel free to holler at me. The chat lines are open. Also, as I go from here, okay, there we go. Hit the hide button. Also, check out AllAboutSports216 The Show every Thursday at 6 p.m. That's right. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. And then also, if you haven't already, subscribe to the AllenViz 2 Media channel. The AllenViz Media 2 YouTube channel. My mistake. The AllenViz Media 2 YouTube channel. Subscribe to that. I need all the subscribers I can get. Because like I said, I might not have many, but I will take the loyal few. I will definitely take the loyal few. And also, can I do this? The chat lines are open. Feel free to holler at me. The chat lines are open. And first, before I do anything, I got a word from my sponsor. Anointed Angel Apparel, where faith, family, and fashion come together. From stylish t-shirts and cozy sweatshirts to dazzling bling rhinestone shirts that shine with purpose, we design every piece with God at the center. But we don't stop there. Discover personalized tumblers, beautiful photo slates, custom engraving, and even UV 3D texturized home decor items that make your house a home. In every design, Anointed Angel Apparel carries a message of hope, faith, and love. Because we're more than a brand, we're a family business devoted to lifting up the name of Jesus. Shop with us today and wear your faith boldly. Anointed Angel Apparel, where your testimony becomes your style. Email anointedangel.apparel.com for a custom consultation. And I'm back here on this beautiful Thursday evening. Think about it. The weather has been great through September. Here in early October, the weather has been great. We've been blessed. For real. We have been blessed with the weather. But like I said, I'm going to get to it. The Cleveland Guardians season is over. The Cleveland Guardians lose to the Detroit Tigers in the best of 3 series, 2-1, after losing today 6-3. In a game where I think Stephen Vogt might have overmanaged his hand. Overmanaged and undermanaged at the same time. Because I think he took Saccone out too early. Then he pulled the left-hand kid after just giving up a home run too early. But then he left reliever Hank Gaddis to get slaughtered in the 7th inning by allowing 3 crucial hits. And I mean, the Tigers was hitting those hits off Gaddis on the line where he was fooling nobody. He overmanaged. He overmanaged and undermanaged. But either way, the Cleveland Guardians season is now a wrap as they lost to the Detroit Tigers 6-3 today at the Progressive Field and everything. The Guardians had a good season considering everything that went on this year. Think about it. The Guardians traded away Andres Jimenez, who was the best second baseman in Major League Baseball, best defensive second baseman in Major League Baseball. You traded away Josh Naylor, the second most popular player on the team behind Jose, and your second best hitter on the team behind Jose. Then not only that, later on, you were sellers at the trade deadline. You traded away Shane Bieber. You traded away reliever Paul Sewald, who the Guardians picked up in free agency this year. And rumor has it, not sure, but the Guardians is also trying to trade Stevie Kwan. They're just trying to unload him too, but they didn't. And then the death blow could have been, well, the death blow wasn't really the first blow when you lost starting pitcher Luis Ortiz, who you acquired from the Pittsburgh Pirates in the offseason. You lost starter Luis Ortiz due to a gambling investigation. And at this point, that gambling investigation is still going on as we speak. You lost him for the rest of the season. Then the death blow could have been to the Guardians' playoff hopes or anything was when the Guardians also lost closer, multi-all-star, Emmanuel Clase. Emmanuel Clase as well to a same gambling to the gambling investigation that's still going on. So we don't know what's going to come up with it yet. And we lost Clase back in late July. And that could have been a death blow right there. Then you also traded Shane Bieber. So, a lot. A lot went on this year for the Guardians and everything. A whole lot went on. No spending. Guardians is doing it from scratch with players from their system and everything. But the one thing that the Guardians did do this year that I do like, that they finally start bringing up these minor league prospects that the Guardians have. Chase DeLauder, C.J. Kafis, which I begged for them to bring them up for the longest. What is the other guy's name? What is the other guy's name? I got to look in the Guardians box score real quick. Got to look in the Guardians box score and everything. Other kid's name. They had 3 guys in the lineup that weren't with the team starting off in April. George Valera. They brought him up. And let me see here. I'm just looking at something. Yeah, George Valera. They brought him up. So they gave you a look to the future with the Cleveland Guardians. They gave you a serious look into the future, which future seems bright, but thing with the Guardians is hopefully Chase DeLauder can help in that lineup in the future. Hopefully George Valera can help with that lineup in the future. And hopefully CJ Kafis can help in that lineup in the future. Because it was too many holes in that Guardians batting order. Which leads me to say you cannot win in MLB with a punch and Judy lineup and only scoring 2-3 runs a game. Now, the Guardians might have would have got away with it, maybe against Detroit, maybe not, but the Guardians would not have gotten away with it with the Seattle Mariners, who the Detroit Tigers would be facing, or the New York Yankees, who the Guardians faced last year in the ALCS, or who is the other division winner that won? Let me see, won the West. Who's the other division winner that got to buy? Got to buy the Toronto Blue Jays. You can't get away with it with them because all those teams have bats. And what the Guardians having to do is basically play a perfect game from the pitching aspect, where in a way that causes Stephen Vogt to overmanage. Because if he gives up one run, he has to make a move, get a reliever, where New York, Toronto, Seattle, and then in the National League, Philadelphia, Phillies, the Los Angeles Dodgers can give up 3 or 4 runs because the margin of error isn't as significant. Where the Guardians, the margin of error is very small due to the lineup that they keep pushing out every day. So hopefully in the future, whether they acquire a couple hitters, a couple corner outfielders or so, and move Kwan in the center field, or move Chase DeLauder in the right, or Valera or somebody, or they need a couple hitters. They need a couple hitters, bats in that lineup, because the lineup is bad. It's like a little F lineup where you go 1 through 4 and that's it. After the 4th batter, it's over with. And really with the Guardians, you go Kwan, whoever batting second, Jose, Manzardo, and after that, slim pickings. Slim pickings. But the pitching, that's a whole different story. The pitching is pretty good. The Guardians got a lot of players. The pitching is pretty good, in which I will say the pitching is pretty good. As I'm going to go through it, see more players. The pitching is pretty good, which shows they have a lot to look forward to, with the starting rotation in the future. Starting with Gavin Williams, the big rig. Second half of the season, he was the big rig. He was that ace that everybody been saying that he was. Gavin Williams. Tanner Bybee in the second half came alive. In the second half. Third, Slade Zirconi. He showed some promise. He came in the trade for Josh Naylor. Fourth, the left-hand kid. Let me get to him. The left-hand kid that came in the game today. Shoot. The left-hand kid that came into the game today. I forgot his name. Then you also got Logan Allen. Then you got Parker Messick, promising lefty as well. Parker Messick, he's a promising lefty. Then next year you'll probably have Ben Lively coming back from injury. Where the Guardians, where actually with the Guardians, their pitching staff, I was reading a lot of those contracts don't expire till 2030. Imagine that, 2030. So the pitching is there. The pitching is there. But they got to get that hitting together because if you don't get the hitting together, you're never going to beat the New Yorks. You're never going to beat the Torontos. You're never going to beat the Seattles this year. You're never going to beat the Phillies or the Dodgers in the World Series. You just not, because you're not going to be able to match up. In every game, your pitcher going to pitch damn near a perfect game. And that's impossible. Where the margin of error for the Guardians is very small because of the lineup, as opposed to other teams that's participating in the postseason. But hopefully, the Guardians will get that together. Hopefully. But they had a good season considering all that would happen and everything. And they got some young cats that look like they can do some things. So hopefully, we will see. We will see next year. Definitely will see next year and everything. But I'm going to move right along and I'm going to move into football where the Cleveland Browns 1-3, fresh off that beating by the Detroit Lions 34-10 in a game where the defense represented, but the offense is ugly work. Very ugly work. I mean, very ugly work. And which led to a replacement at quarterback. For the Browns, going in to face the Minnesota Vikings at Tottenham Stadium in London, in England. The Browns, there is a changing of the guard at quarterback. Rookie Dylan Gabriel will be the starting quarterback for now. He'll be the starting quarterback in place of Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco wasn't effective. And even though, to be honest, it wasn't all on Joe Flacco. Trust and believe. It wasn't all on Joe Flacco. Offensive line looks old, very old. Your tackles are unreliable. DeJuan Jones, love him, but he's unreliable. Can't be depended on. Conklin, unreliable. The interior of the line, Wyatt Teller, Betonio, and Posick, reliable, but the tackles, oh my God, shit show. Which led the Browns to acquire Cam Robinson from the Houston Texans. Cam Robinson will probably be the new starting left tackle, which is an upgrade over Cornelius Lucas or whoever they was throwing out there at left tackle. But Cam Robinson will be the new starting left tackle for the Browns. And Dylan Gabriel will be the quarterback, even though a lot of it wasn't on Joe Flacco. Let's be real. A lot of it wasn't on Joe Flacco. When your receivers can't catch the ball. Jared Jeudy. Cedric Tillman was okay, but now the injury bug has reared its ugly head on Cedric Tillman again, which means that you can't really rely or depend on Cedric Tillman either as well. You can't rely or depend on Cedric Tillman as well. So, like they say in the NFL, your best ability is availability. But there has been one bright spot in the receiving corps, and that's Isaiah Bond, who I want to see more of. He's made a couple of plays. He's made a couple plays and be open all the time, just about. But, you know, Dylan Gabriel is now the starting quarterback. And we will see what he can do. He got a stiff test, though, with the Minnesota Vikings, where you have Coach Brian Flores, defensive coordinator. Man. But I actually think this is a game that the Browns can possibly get. And I'll tell you why. The Cleveland Browns are facing the Minnesota Vikings with the backup quarterback in Carson Wentz. Now, Carson Wentz, he balled out in Philadelphia a few years ago, but he's not setting the world on fire now. Not as the backup. And I even figured it was a game they possibly could get, even if McCarthy was starting. To be honest, I figured it was a game to get even if McCarthy was starting. But this is a game the Browns can possibly get as long as they don't turn the ball over. And they don't do no goofy stuff on special teams. As long as they don't turn the ball over and don't do no goofy stuff on special teams, this is a game the Browns can be in. Plus, Minnesota might have a situation where they got a few offensive linemen that may be out in this game. They may have a few offensive linemen that may be out on the starting offensive line. So Myles Garrett and company, Myles Garrett, Mason Graham, Isaiah McGuire should be able to feast on the Minnesota offensive line and put pressure on Carson Wentz and make him make mistakes. Because Carson Wentz is just like, in a way, like the Browns. For real, you can wait on him to make mistakes. And if you can do that, it could be an interesting ball game. Low scoring, but it could be a very interesting ball game. This is a game that I think the Browns can get. Let me see. Oh, man. Derpy Entertainment, what's up? Derpy Entertainment, I freaking hate everything, man. 1940. Yeah, it's been a while. 1948, how long is it going to take for the freaking Dolans to spend money for this baseball organization? And that's what it really takes. I'm not asking the Dolans to go Yankee payroll. Just spend about $150 million. That's it. I'm not asking them to go Boston payroll or LA Dodgers payroll. Just spend $150 million. Get some hitters in here and everything. Get some hitters and stuff. But I think this is a game that the Browns can get if they put pressure on Carson Wentz and they stop the Minnesota running game. Plus, Aaron Jones is out as well. So, this is a possible game that the Browns can get, for real. This is a game that the Browns can get. But you got to keep it low scoring. Just like the Green Bay game. You got to make it an ugly game. Make it a street fight. And if we can make it a street fight, hey, you never know. You never know what can happen. Because think about it. Green Bay game, nobody gave the Browns a chance. Nobody. Not even I. But the Browns stayed in it in the fourth quarter. They didn't really turn the ball over because really the interception by Joe Flacco at the end of the half, I really wouldn't even count that. That was like a Hail Mary or whatever like that. But Cleveland stayed in it. And hey. And they gave themselves a chance. And the Browns have to do that on Sunday. Now the game will be on Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m. I don't even know if I'm gonna be up. be per- to be totally honest, I don't even know if I'm gonna be up for the game. I might sleep through it. But the game will be Sunday at 9:30. At 9:30. 9:30 a.m. Up early. Have your morning coffee and all that, your pancakes, sausages, waffles, and see what happens. see what happens. But I really think if the Browns defense has been playing as they have, which has been strong, and if the offense don't turn the ball over and just go ground and pound play action, and keep the game close. Ground and pound play action, keep the game close. And if the Browns don't turn the ball over, and if the special teams don't do no goofy stuff, the Browns will have a chance to pull this game out. It'll be close at the end. Now, you got Justin Jefferson and Addison, but you got Carson Wentz at quarterback. So the Browns got a shot. They got a legitimate shot. They got a legitimate shot. So we will see. Now, the pregame show, which is tricky, because the pregame I usually do at 12 o'clock on Sundays. But this, I will not be getting up at 8 a.m. to do a pregame show on Sunday. Shit, you not, I barely can get up at 8 a.m. for the stuff I need to do. So, the pregame show will be Saturday evening, probably at 9 o'clock. Saturday evening, 9 to 10 o'clock. Or might be 11 o'clock. I ain't gonna lie. Might be a late night pregame show. So stay tuned for that. Might be a late night pregame show. But I think the Browns, if they don't turn the ball over and do no goofy stuff on special teams, and they make all their kicks, and they do have good coverage on punt returns by Minnesota, good coverage on kick returns on Minnesota, the Browns have a shot. They have a shot, but they're going to have to make it a street fight. They're going to have to make it an ugly street fight and keep the score low, because if Minnesota scores 20 or more, the Browns are done. The Browns are done. Now, my expectations for Mr. Dylan Gabriel. Honestly, if he can throw for about 150 yards, and if the Browns offense can somehow score 2 touchdowns, no turnovers, maybe a touchdown, and we can get the running game going with Quinshon Judkins, because that's going to be the key. Can the Browns get the running game going with Quinshon Judkins? So far, he's looked good, but I mean, they got to get the running game going where they can dictate the tempo of the game and keep Justin Jefferson and company off the field. But if they can do that, the Browns got a shot. So it'll be interesting this Saturday, well, not this Sunday, in England for the Browns and the Vikings. Now let's see, I'm going to move right along to football. As Ohio State, yeah, the Buckeyes. Yes, sir. Buckeyes ranked number 1 at 4-0 after going across country and defeating the Washington Huskies 24-6, where the defense just totally dominated. And think about this. People thought the Ohio State defense was good last year. This year, so far, they're dominant. Dominant. Think about it. They held that high-scoring Washington offense in Washington. In Washington to 6 points. 6 points. 2 field goals. In Washington, that offense has been pretty high-powered all season long till last Saturday. And the fact that they did it in Washington, and think about it, the offense just moving right along. Because last week, they called the game conservative, which I've said that they were, due to it being Julian Sands' first road game. But he showed poise. He showed poise. He made the throws that he had to make. He was just basically a game manager. No turnovers. And also Ohio State had freshman Bo Jackson as the starting running back. He looked at decent. He had a pretty decent. It was just a pretty methodical game, which Ohio State went on the road, did what they had to do, handled their business, and beat Washington, and now they're coming back home. This Saturday, under the lights at the Horseshoe, and they'll be facing the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Now, I don't know too much about Minnesota. I think they're like 2-2 or something like that. I'm gonna look here on this board here on my computer and everything. Let's see. Let me type this in. So it's Ohio against Minnesota this week. Because the Browns play the Vikings and Ohio State plays the Golden Gophers. Let's see. So the Golden Gophers football. The Minnesota Golden Gophers are 3-1. They're 3-1. Let me see if I know some of their main players. Minnesota Golden Gophers football stat leaders. Let's see what we got here. Gophers be left at a college football super league. Interesting. Should have brought Tail to search a little more. Let's see, Minnesota last game, they won over Rutgers 31-28. Player stats. Maybe I should have did that. Let's see what I come up with now. Let's see. This keeps leading me to a dead end. After 3-game transfer portal. Let's see what we got here. See what we got. Now it's easy for me to find Washington last week. This is crazy. But anyway, should be an interesting game. And one of the Minnesota writers who has a vote in like the top, as far as the top 10 or whatever, voted Ohio State the number 3 team in the country. So Ohio State will have a little extra incentive as they play Minnesota this Saturday night. in their second Big Ten game of the season. Last week was a grand week for college football. Last week was a grand week for college football last week. Because you got to see the Oregon Penn State game, which I had a lot of interest in. That quarterback from Oregon, he is nice. He is the truth. That quarterback from Oregon, he is the truth. He is the truth. And think about it. Oregon was down 17. No, let me see. Was it Oregon down or was it Minnesota was down? No, I mean, was it Oregon down or was Penn State down? Trying to think. Oregon was down 17-3 in that game. No. Let me see. Wait a minute. Let me see. Trying to think. No, Penn State was down 17-3. If I'm not mistaken. They was down 17-3, and their offense is looking dead. And by the way, Drew Aller, even though the kid is from here, he just looked mid. He looks mid. All these people talking about first quarterback chosen and stuff like that. He just looked at mid to me. I'm going to be honest. And you know. And Drew Aller is from here, but he ain't look like that guy to me that I would spend the first round pick on. Just being real. He didn't look like that guy to me. But that guy from Oregon, the quarterback from Oregon, dude is calm. Doesn't feel like he's rushing, and he just does his thing. Period. Which I'll have a new order of the college quarterbacks that I would select. To be honest. Let's see. I'm just going to go here. Top college QBs 2025. Let's see. The top 20 college quarterbacks. I'm up here about to look and everything. Because, like I said, the guys that they had, Dante Moore would be the number one. Dante Moore would be number one. Dante Moore, the quarterback from Oregon, would be number one. Dante Moore, of course, you had Lenore Sellers. Garrett Nussmeier, he looks mid to me. I would say my top four, to be honest, and I'm just looking at the top and everything. I'm just going to scroll down here to my top four. I'm going to be honest. I would say the Moore kid from Oregon, Dante Moore, Carson Beck, the Mendoza kid from Indiana, the kid that was at Oklahoma, Mateer, before he got hurt. Mateer, my top five would be this right now in order. It would be Carson Beck, Carson Beck, Dante Moore, Maialva, Mendoza, the Kid from Tennessee is nice too. Joey Aguilar is nice too. And that'll be my top five. And Mateer. Mateer, even though he's hurt, I would go with Mateer from Oklahoma. And he's hurt. And I'm still going with Mateer from Oklahoma. That'd be my five. For real, for real. That would be my five. You notice no Arch Manning. He'll be coming out next year. And Arch Manning year kind of reminds me of Joe Burrow's first year when he transferred to LSU, where it was off and on and uneven and everything. But then that second year, he got it together. And I think Texas needs to run more scripted runs for Arch Manning, because he's more of an athlete than quarterback, to be honest. That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. Now, I'm going to move him right along. The Cleveland Cavaliers have started training camp. They're down in IMG Academy in Florida for a week. Cavs changed up the roster. Still got the core four. But they made additions. They drafted guard Tyrese Parker from Duke. They got guard Alonzo Ball in the trade, which means the Cavs' smallest backcourt isn't really so small now, because Proctor is about 6'4", 6'5", Ball is 6'6". Then they added some more depth when they signed Thomas Bryant, 6'11", power forward, center, can shoot from the three. Then they also added, who else did they add? Oh, they added Killian Hayes, who is a former lottery pick. He's about 6'6", 6'7", point guard. So the Cavs got size in the backcourt. Now which makes me wonder who the Cavs are going to start in the starting lineup if Darius Garland isn't available, because Darius Garland and Max Strus will not be available in the beginning of the season due to injuries and surgeries. So, my projected Cleveland Cavaliers starting lineup will probably be Donovan Mitchell at the guard. They could go like this. Donovan Mitchell at the guard. I don't know who's going to be the point guard. Donovan Mitchell at the guard. Donovan Mitchell at the guard. DeAndre Hunter at the 3. Evan Mobley 4. Jared Allen 5. The second guard spot could either be Jalen Tyson. Or, let me see the Cleveland Cavaliers roster. Let's see. Let's see. Just looking here. Jalen Tyson can be starting guard. Or this will probably what the Cavs will do. The Cavs will probably go with Donovan Mitchell at guard. And Sam Merrill at the 2 guard, with DeAndre Hunter, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen rounding it up. That will probably be the Cavs starting lineup by the time they open the regular season. Granted that everybody's healthy that's there and whatnot and stuff. So that will probably be the Cavs starting lineup. But hey, can't wait for the make that run. What? Connection lost. What in the world is going on? I want the Cavs to make that run to the NBA Finals. Because, look, a lot of times when you go through in the playoffs, you got to get your heart broke in the NBA. I've seen it. I've seen it with the Detroit Pistons. I've seen it between the Philadelphia 76ers and Boston Celtics back in the days when I was in middle school. With Boston have 60-win teams, then Philadelphia be like the Grinch, steal Christmas away and go play the Lakers in the finals. I've seen it with the Detroit Pistons, where the one year that they probably should have beat Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals, but the Boston had the famous steal and turned the series around and everything. So I've seen it. Seen it happen with the Chicago Bulls. Plenty of times that they tried to go up against Detroit and Detroit sent them home. And the Cavs, same way. Think about it. Last two second round defeats against Indiana and Boston. Boston was a dynamo. Both teams went to the finals from the second round. So if you didn't think the Cavs had their head on, at least they lost to the team that competed in the finals from the Eastern Conference. But I think the Cavs will lick their wounds and be ready to go. And truthfully, honestly, no matter what they do in the regular season, to be real, no matter what they do in the regular season, it's going to be about what the Cavs do in late April, May, and June, to be honest. No matter what they do in the regular season, it's going to be about what the Cavs do in late April, May, and June. That's what they're going to be judged upon. So, hey, hope the Cavs are ready to go and come out locked and loaded and even be stronger when Darius Garland and Max Strus come back from injury. And we'll see what happens this year. We'll definitely see what happens. But I got high hopes for the Cavs because I want to see how much more progression that power forward Evan Mobley has made in his game. Because I think for the Cavs to be a serious contender and be in the finals, Eastern Conference Finals, Mobley has to take that step to be that number one guy with Donovan Mitchell. He has to take that step because then you have Evan Mobley 1, Donovan Mitchell 2, Darius Garland 3. And to be honest, injuries notwithstanding, everybody was on Darius Garland's case. Darius gets buckets when you need him the most. He did that all clutch last year during the regular season. He got buckets when the Cavs needed them the most. And Jared Allen 4. And then you got DeAndre Hunter, icing on top. Then you got Jalen Tyson, Sam Merrill. Come on. Cavs deeper than any team in the East. For real. They're deeper than any team in the East. Now, there are some teams in the East that could be a thorn in the Cavs' side. New York, Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson and company. They always be there. A dark horse team can even be the Orlando Magic. Watch out for them. And the Atlanta Hawks. Because the Atlanta Hawks are athletic. And they gave the Cavs fits last year during the regular season until Jalen Johnson got hurt. Till they lost a couple of their key players. But watch those two teams in the East. The Orlando Magic and the Atlanta Hawks. Them the two teams to watch in the East. And another team that can be tricky if this guy is healthy Well, actually, if the two guys are healthy, Joel Embiid and Paul George, it's the Philadelphia 76ers. They can be tricky as well. But hey, we'll see. Go Cavs. Let's get it. Moving right along as I go to the quick picks. Quick pick section. As you see, let me show you myself on the board. Quick picks. Last week I went 4-1-1. A tie with Green Bay and Dallas. I expected Green Bay to demolish Dallas, and it didn't happen. Dallas is probably the most exciting team to watch in the NFL because they score points and they give up a lot of points. But all the Dallas games are very interesting. Overall, I'm 13-11-1, and my quick pick for today is, matter of fact, tonight's game. The San Francisco 49ers going up against the Los Angeles Rams. 49ers are injured. No Bosa. No Ayuk. And they got injuries plaguing them. They don't know if Brock Purdy going to play tonight. I'm not sure if he's going to play or not today. But tonight, my quick pick for tonight is the LA Rams. LA will win this NFC West rivalry. And of course, with all NFC West games like you seen last week with Arizona and Seattle, they're all going to be close. But I got the LA Rams winning it tonight. And that brings me to the conclusion of my show. Like I said, be sure to look out for All About Sports 216 Cleveland Browns pregame show sometime Saturday evening, probably about 9 or 10 o'clock. Or sometime early Saturday evening, maybe 5 or 6 o'clock. Might be 6 o'clock Saturday evening. Since the game's so early on Sunday, 6 o'clock Saturday evening, then about an hour or a half hour after the conclusion of the Cleveland Browns Minnesota game in England, which will be about, let's say, 1:30, 2 o'clock. Check me out for the post game. I have my analysis of the post game and everything. But for now, this is your man Keith Allen signing off. Everybody have a good night. And everybody have a blessed weekend coming, and stay out the way and be cool. And I will see you Saturday evening. This your man Keith Allen signing out. Peace.
We in it for the love of the sport.
Love, man.
We the real McCoys, running the full court.
Yeah.
We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the AFC North.
Smash mouth,
We in
baby.
it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the
Fresh,
sport.
man.
We the real McCoys from the AFC North. We in it for the love of the sport.
Love, man.
We the real McCoys, running the full court.
Yeah.
We in it for the love of the sport.
Ain't that right?
We the real McCoys from the AFC North.
Smash mouth,
We in
baby.
it for the love of the sport. We the real McCoys, running the full court. We in it for the love of the
Fresh,
sport.
man.
We the real McCoys